Back here. Just want to quickly start this video off by saying if you guys would like to support my channel on Twitch or YouTube, either way, you can become a Prime or become a subscriber on Twitch. I don't know how exactly it works. All I know is I can get some profit from that if you guys would like to support me for that. Also, YouTube live streams have the super chat feature, and also I can post links for donations if you guys just want to donate straight to me. So there you go. If you'd like to support me, all donations and proceeds, anything like that, goes straight to updating the channel, expanding gameplay, like buying new games, gear, like face cams, whatever, just stuff like that. Okay, that can help keep the channel going and things like that. Other side note, if you guys would like to join my Discord or follow me on Twitter, Twitter's TJTheBlindGamer at TJPunk981, I think it is. I can't remember. And my Discord is discord.gg slash I don't know. I don't remember. So what I want to talk about in this video is quite a complex topic, so this may require multiple videos. We'll see. But what I want to talk about is quite simply stated, the pros and cons for each Black Ops game. So Black Ops 3 and Black Ops 4, since they're most relevant, game for a blind person to try and get into. So if you're blind and you've never played COD before, which one's easier to get into and stuff like that. Now, I'm going to tell you right off the bat, I think Black Ops 3 is harder to get into, but more fulfilling once you know what you're doing. Black Ops 4 is easy to get into, but I don't know, like Black Ops 4 for me is kind of weird. I don't know why. So the pros and cons for each game. I'm just going to talk about Black Ops 3 specifically. Now this is just generalizations. I can go more in depth with other videos in the future if you guys would like to, like a specific question about each game, like differences between them. So pros to Black Ops 3. Audio engine is pretty good. The simplicity of the menu navigation is great. You just want to start a match. Okay, you go. You at the main menu at the top option, go down twice, hit X or A, and hit A or X again, then hit A or X again. You're in a solo match on Shadows of Evil, which is the first map. Now, if you want any maps besides what comes with the disc, which is Shadows of Evil or digital purchase, you gotta pay for DLC. So the Giant, which is $5, Zombies Chronicles, which has the enhanced audio and decent, fairly accessible maps, that's $30, and then of course you have the rest of the DLC season, which those are hit or miss. I personally didn't really care for any of them. I prefer the Giant because it's easy and simple to learn. Same with Nocturne Toten and the other other Chronicles-based maps. Now, that's one con, is if you want the easier maps or more accessible maps or easy and accessible maps, you gotta pay, which does suck. It really does, but at the end of the day, I mean, that's kind of how Activision Treyarch, that's how they do their DLC shit, which, for me it's not a big deal because I can just, it wasn't a big deal for me. That's one con. Where Black Ops 4, there's a pro there in you don't need the Black Ops Pass to have decently accessible maps and fairly easy maps, because you can make any map really easy. You just put on casual difficulty, which gives you more health, make zombies take less bullets to kill, and they're slower. They don't run. They don't start like walking or running until later rounds. And then on top of that, you can just go do custom games and make them all slow as hell anyway, and give yourself like 300 health. That's one benefit of Black Ops 4, is the amount of customization allows for a blind person to get into the game and really in-depth learn it. The only downside being you can't take zombies or enemies completely off and just learn it like that. Like, you gotta learn while zombies are attacking you, which isn't a big deal if you know how to navigate to slow the zombies down and give yourself a shit ton of points and health, because it's not a big deal. Once you get all that done, you're good. Okay, you can go learn to your heart's content, have infinite points and whatever. But the real difference comes when you think about it this way. Okay, Black Ops 4's maps are more accessible and easier to learn and play due to the really good audio design. The trade-off being the menus are not very blind friendly, like, at all. Whereas Black Ops 3 has only one map, but its system for getting into matches is very simple. You don't have to worry about customization, you don't have to worry about other things, you just get in and go. The only settings I'd recommend messing around with are vertical sensitivity, just so that you don't aim up or down all that much. I mean, you still do, but it's nowhere near as bad as like having vertical, set to whatever. Of course, you can easily just compensate for this by, if you pay attention to the sound, you'll hear when you're shooting the floor or ceiling, because they have different textures and stuff. But at the end of the day, like, it shouldn't be that difficult to either figure it out or just compensate, honestly. So, as I was saying, the main difference being Black Ops 4 has easier and more accessible and a lot more customization, but it trades that out for having a more complex menu system, which results in just utter annoyance, because it's like I tried walking a blind person through the menus, and he was just like, no, the menus are, there's just no. So, anyway. Personally, I believe Black Ops 4 is a better experience for a blind person to get into zombies. Like, if you're like blind and you want to get into it, if you don't worry about customization or any of those things, like, it's not that hard to get into a match and just start learning and playing. But the trade-off being, if you don't set up like at least your special weapon and equipment, you're kind of screwed depending on what you do. Well, not really. I mean, they're all those things are good depending on what you use, but the main downside for BL4 right now for a blind person getting into Call of Duty Zombies is just the menus. And it's the same thing with multiplayer too. The menus themselves are just annoying. So, I mean, if you want a a fairly accessible game and easy difficulty, and you can learn the maps relatively quickly. I'm not saying they're easy to learn, but they're okay. You just have to put in a bit of effort, just like anything else in life. Then go Black Ops 4. If you want an easy menu navigation and you don't worry about customizing or any of that, just worry about getting in and surviving, do Black Ops 3. The trade-off being you're gonna have to pay a little bit more for Black Ops 3 because if you want the at least the Giant is $5. Then again, currencies are other countries and foreign stuff. Anyway, so yeah, if you want a more accessible experience, Black Ops 4. Black Ops 3 is still accessible with the audio. The audio is pretty good. It's easy to identify where you are based on footstep sounds and ambient noises. But it's less accessible because okay, for whatever reason, Black Ops 3's main DLC maps, meaning the Giant, which was just a bonus DLC map if you wanted it, as well as the Chronicles maps like Nocturne and Verrückt and all these other things. Because they enhanced them like a lot and revamped them. So for example, if you pay attention, there's a gobblegum right there. There's a sound like a weird buzzing almost. That's the RK5 wall buy, and then you can hear faintly the mule kick vending machine. Hold on, see if we can just hear that. Like that mule kick sound, the vending machine sound, that's always been in every Call of Duty Zombies. It's a little more noticeable. It depends on the map too. Depending on the map and the ambient noises, you might hear it better or less than other maps. So that's a hit or miss. So the way I see it is this: if you're okay with spending a couple extra dollars after purchase, because Black Ops 3 is on sale right now, I'm pretty sure, and you can buy the Zombies Chronicles edition for like $35. So if you just want the base game with Shadows of Evil, of course, and then the Chronicles maps, it's like $30. At least I saw it on there on Xbox for that. And then if you want the Zombies Deluxe Edition, what's covered with Chronicles, all the map, it comes with every zombie map that's available on Black Ops 3, and of course the multiplayer and campaign. I think that's like $40. So it's not a bad price, honestly, considering they took it down a lot. But it does kind of suck if you buy the base game, then the DLC, then this, because it adds up that way. If you're gonna buy Black Ops 3, because there's simpler menus and stuff, and you just want to get in and play, don't worry about customization, then look for one of the editions, either Zombies Chronicles edition for like $35-ish. I mean, of course, currency changes between countries and stuff, but yeah, that's my opinion. Like me, I was gonna buy it on Xbox for the Chronicles edition, and then we got it working on the PS4. This is my brother's PS4, and so I didn't have to. So it's not a big deal. So those are my overall thoughts. The general gameplay and I'll get into the gameplay and maps and things like that, and the actual maps themselves and things like that. But as far as just overview, I would say Black Ops 4 is more accessible and easier to get into if you ignore the customization. If you want to customize your stuff and all that, then it's gonna take a minute to get used to the menus and how it is, because it's all a grid. It's not very easy. However, if you don't want to worry about customization and you just want to get into games and whatever, Black Ops 4 is fairly easy because the audio engine and things like that are pretty nice. Black Ops 3 is a little more tricky to get into simply because of that kind of price barrier for the more accessible and easier maps. However, if you buy Black Ops 3 by itself, just with Shadows of Evil, I wouldn't recommend it because Shadows is one of those more complex zombies maps, so that one takes a while, and it's not that easy to get used to. Once you get used to the zombies, I'm sure it'll be fine. But if you're just getting into COD zombies and you're blind, no, dude, I'd recommend if you're gonna do anything, just buy Black Ops 4 by itself, and you can just learn and get used to it that way. Although one thing I'll warn you about right now, Black Ops 3 and Black Ops 4 are vastly different in gameplay, cause it's different. Trust me. So I'll get more into that later. If you guys enjoy this kind of video, just talking about this, let me know. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you thought. What kind of topics I'm going to cover. Gaming related, non-gaming related, blindness related, non-blindness related, whatever. Just leave it down below. Hope you guys enjoyed. My gameplay's terrible. Bye.